Welcome to the design studio. Take a look at these images. They might be a little off. They might be a little chaotic, a little too much. That is very common in a front yard. If you've got something that you can't quite put your finger on, you want to simplify things and make it look awesome, I want to show you something called the 3-plant rule. And once you learn how to do this, you can apply it to multiple areas of your yard and make your life that much easier. Let's get into it. All right, welcome. I have not introduced myself in a while. My name is Bobby K. I'm a professional landscape designer and general contractor, and I love to help busy homeowners simplify their lives through their landscaping. You got much more important things to do than have to mess around with a bunch of plants and gardening and things like that. Of course, there is that hobby, but most people, they're just looking for something that looks good. So I want to show you the 3-plant rule because this is a way to simplify usually a messy yard. Most people think that a variety of plants and more plants is going to make things look better. The truth is, taking things away actually makes it look more intentional, purposeful, and better. So in the 3-plant rule, there are 3 core elements. You've got your anchor, you've got your support, and you've got your accent. And what I want to do is go through a couple examples that are a little off and they're common mistakes, then show you some really great examples that use this to perfection. And then we're going to take one of the images that's a little off and we are going to work a design together on the fly using the 3-plant rule. It's going to be an awesome video. We're going to learn a lot, and this is how we're going to simplify your landscaping. Let's get into it. Okay, starting off with the common mistakes or the things that I see a lot of when I go on a design consultation. The first one is you've got one of everything syndrome. This is when you just see every plant is different. There's no repetition. There's no real hierarchy. It's just obvious that we're trying to squeeze in all kinds of things and it looks a little off. The next one is more common than anything that I see. It's plants used as decoration instead of structure. So this is when you've got shrubs that have no real relationship to the house or the architecture of the house. These guys right here, they just look off. They're kind of scattered and it just does not fit with the vibe. We are going to come back to this one and clean it up. It is going to be awesome. Okay, and then the final one is you got too many colors, too many textures, too many heights. I think this is absolutely beautiful, except this different texture and height that's popping up. I think if that was taken out, the rest of this would feel like a very breezy, colorful, beautiful perennial garden, whereas I think it just feels like almost like weeds and stuff are springing up. So it's a little off. Okay, so this is where this is all gonna start to make sense. We are gonna set this up in a way where you know the 3 types of plants that can go with any kind of landscape, and you're gonna adapt it to whatever zone you live in. So that'll make more sense as we get into the live design. But starting off here, the first thing is one structural plant, which is the anchor. That's what I want you to remember, the anchor. That would be something that is repeated over and over, which many of these are, but it's usually an evergreen. It's gonna be something that provides structure, it softens things, and it has that year-round interest. So here it is this boxwood hedge, if you will, and you see that there's also these other colors, which we'll get into in a minute. But this is a way to set up structure and soften everything over and over. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so as you can see, this is kind of a similar picture, but I want to talk about the next thing, which is one secondary plant, which is the support. So the structure here would be those evergreens, as you can see, but the structural support is usually something of medium height. It's repeated consistently and it softens that anchor, but it's not flashy. So back here would be these like limelight hydrangeas. I guess you could even say these pops of perennials and these as well. It's something that's going to be on the backdrop that has a new color, has a new texture. And then finally, this is my favorite one, which is one accent plant. This is the highlight that you want to bring attention to. So I would use this sparingly. It's placed anywhere you want to draw attention. It's not everywhere. So here for this beautiful modern house, you can see they've got a lot of landscaping, but then they have this very vibrant red, just bam, like a feather grass here. This could be a Mexican grass. It could be anything that is drawing your attention. And why are we drawing your attention? Because we want you to come to the front door. So those are the 3 plants. So here's the truth. Landscapes don't impress with a ton of variety. They actually impress by simplifying things. Your anchor, your support, and your accent. It's gonna give clarity it's going to reduce the noise, and it's going to make things look more professional and more expensive for that matter. So we're going to get into the design, and we're going to transform one of those images that is a little off, and we're going to apply the 3-plant rule. Before we do, all I ask in any video is if you are enjoying this content, smash the like. And if you've been here a couple times, or if this is your first time and you are enjoying this, consider subscribing, because that is how you're going to stay up to date on backyards and side yards and front yards and different kinds of things that I'm going to teach in every single one of those videos. And we got a vlog style where you actually get to go out and see projects that we do in St. Louis, and you can take those and apply those to your space. So I am here to help. Love to help anybody who needs a design. That is the pinned comment. Now, let's get in there. Let's show how the 3-plant rule really works. Okay, we are in the software. As you can see, I photoshopped out that initial image. Let's put that image on the screen so you can see the difference between taking out the clutter and the things that are going on that are really distracting. We need to simplify this, right? So there's a few requests from this client that is out of California, Downey, California. It was that they like olive bushes, that they want colors, and they like pinks, purples, and even a splash of white if it's possible. And then just want to see what can be done as far as the hardscaping. Like, what are some options that could clean this up? And already I see quite a few things. We've got a nice wide driveway. It looks like there's some pavers here so that when they step out their car, they can get on there and then come up the walkway to here. What I feel is a miss, and maybe this is subconsciously what they were going for. You see how this area is kind of taken out? I think that a walkway up to the sidewalk for, you know, people who are parking here, maybe they have a party, they can come up here and bring that design out towards the lawn is going to create depth. It's going to create more opportunity for all of those different 3 plants that we want to put in there, and it's going to make this thing feel alive. So now that we've got this thing photoshopped out, let's start with what is that hardscaping going to be, and what are the landscape beds going to be that we can put our 3 plants in. So I think just something simple like a nice concrete walkway. A lot of times we will use pavers, but let's just do a concrete because we've got a concrete walkway here. I'd like to keep a cohesive palette together. So let's get into the concrete. Let's pick a shade that we feel is going to be close. Maybe this is an aggregate concrete, something that is close to what they already have, or maybe it's just a brush finish gray concrete. It doesn't really matter that much. And if they wanted to get into the pavers, absolutely could do that as well. So let's bring this down so that we can create 2 opportunities on both sides for planting and really welcome you up to that front door. So now we've got a new hardscape opportunity. This is going to create all kinds of interest. And let's get into the landscaping and let's create those landscape beds. Now, I already kind of know what I want to do with this. One of the things that was also expressed would be some shade, because if they want to sit out here, if they were like, hey, we actually don't mind having a tree here because it provides shade, because it's very hot in this climate. This is like 10B. That's why knowing your zones of what you can and can't plant is super important. So make sure when you do hire a designer, the biggest mistake anybody makes is not hiring a designer before you start something like this, that they are locked into what you like and where you live, of course. So here we go. Let's put some beds in here. And I think I want to take it almost like it was coming down the side, bring it out to a right angle, and then I do want to pop this out for some kind of tree right here, because I feel like that is going to be a really cool focal point and help create a little bit of depth and interest here. So let's create just kind of a cute little curve, little circle, and bring it over. And then after we get done with that, we are going to bring this down the walkway. And that is going to create all kinds of opportunity for some future plantings. And I think I'm going to make it in line with the architecture of the house right here, just bringing it straight down. So we got boom, we'll come over and we will clean all of this up. Bring that over here. Looks like there's even a little depth right there. This is called a point perspective design. You go onto the website, you will find this as an option. These are great for before and afters, especially front yard designs. If you need a little help, this is one of the things that I think is one of the best bangs for your buck that I offer, for sure. If you need a little bit more detail, that's when you get into the 3D design. But There's a time and place for everything. So, okay, cool. Now we've got a walkway. Now we've got some landscape beds where we can do those 3 plants, and it's already looking completely different. So what we want to start off with is, let's start with our anchor. And like I said, this client said that they like olive bushes. So let's use that. We're going to go in, and we're going to select an olive bush as our anchor for this project. Let's see which one looks like one that makes the most sense. Kind of looking around here. I think this guy right here. And it only gets up to about 4 feet, so it'll go right before the window line. It's got some cool texture to it. So let's start over here and put these guys in and show a little bit of the architecture. So instead of flooding it across, maybe we just do 2 of them like that. And then, because we want to create some shade, that is where our tree is going to kind of take up this space, and there's a little bit of negative space around there. Negative space is just when you've got mulch or filler materials and you're not flooding it with plants. And let's take a couple more of these just to kind of break up along this porch, and maybe it's just 2 of them like that. And I actually think that would probably be enough, and we can start to rinse and repeat and do some other things. So now that we know we want a tree here, why don't we do an olive tree? And now we've got all of our anchor set for this entire design. Okay, cool. Fruitless olive right here. I think this is actually a perfect tree for here. And then we can start to get into our next elements, which are going to be the support, and then we'll get to our accent. Okay, so now we've got this tree here. It's a nice, beautiful olive tree. It'll get to about there. Now we're going to create some shade, and we've got everything anchored. Beautiful. Now, let's get in there and select our support, which I think we're going to go with some kind of heather, because there's pinks, there's purples, there's even, I believe, some whites. But I think that is going to be a perfect way to line this walkway and then put something out in here. Like I said, it's a rinse and repeat. And then we'll get to our accent, where we're going to draw some attention to the porch, because the porch actually has some climbing vines. I got an idea for that. So let's get in here and grab some heather. And these are obviously plants that do well in this zone. And like I said, I want to draw your attention with those pinks and purples to this new hardscape, this new walkway. And I want to make it look really pretty. So as far as the scale and the size, these only get up to, I think, about 2 feet at max, probably more like 18 inches. So they're going to be a little bit bigger in the foreground here. And then I'm going to do something kind of clever, at least I think it's kind of clever, where we're going to pack them in little bunches. And then I want to use a different variety of heather, maybe a Mexican heather, to give a little bit more interest, but I'm still following the 3-plant rule, right? Because it's still heather. So I'm kind of bending the rules, and I am definitely that kind of guy. I like to, I'm my own boss for a reason, because I don't like following the rules all the time, but I am trying my best to stick with this one, of course, for the purpose of this video. So we've got that heather right there that I think is absolutely gorgeous. And let's go over to another heather, this Mexican false heather. I think that would be absolutely fantabulous right there. So let's put this guy in and drop him in the backdrop. And now we're starting to get some textures while still following our rule that kind of welcomes you down this new walkway. We're drawing your attention to the walkway so that it creates curb appeal. It's very simple to put these in. And I think it's kind of a repeat, less is more structure. So let's do some more heather, and then some Mexican heather as well. And then we're going to move on to our final of the 3-plant rule, which is what? Our accent. So we got this guy in here. We'll take this guy, bring it behind these ones, and then we'll bring another one over to the other side. It's beautiful. And it's going to be very nice. This is the kind of stuff that really makes a difference. I'm going to drop that back behind. Okay, great. And then we'll have one more layer. That'll get you all the way to the end of the rainbow, right? So we're going to put you all the way up to where they've got a gate that goes up to the porch. So we got a little bit more heather here. We'll do it on the other side, and that will be our entranceway. Very simple, clean, and now we've got some texture and color, and we've only done 2 of the 3 plants so far. So we've got opportunity to do even more. I actually think I'm going to take this heather and I'm going to rinse and repeat it along the front as well. Now we're creating a lot of bones and structure, and it's very easy to follow what's going on here. So this guy is over here. This guy is breaking up in between. Got this right here. I'm going to turn that around. And then we'll have one more on the corner for balance. All right, let's bring this over here. Boom. See how that works? Perfect. So now we take it back and boom, we got our Mexican heather, we've got our regular heather, we have our olive bushes and our olive tree. So we've got our anchor and support. Finally, I want to go to an accent. What I'm choosing for the accent, and I always say this wrong, it's bougainvillea. Bougainvillea, like bougainvillea. I think that's how you say it, but it's a beautiful, colorful plant that does well in this zone and can be a climber, so it can go along here. So let's go in here and grab a couple of those guys. I'm gonna act like I actually can spell. There we go, boom. And I think this guy is actually perfect. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna highlight, because what does an accent do? It highlights, it draws your attention to what? Kind of the final destination. Usually it's the front door. And we're gonna put these up in here and we'll just rotate them around. Now we're playing off that pink and purple, those fuchsias, that color, and bringing your attention to another element, another level of this design that you didn't even realize until we put that colorful part in there. And I actually think that is probably pretty darn good. Maybe there's one more back here just to show all the depth. So boom, there we go. We've got our accent, we have our support, and we've got our anchor, which is those guys. And then finally, what do? You light up your investment. So I'm gonna put some landscape lighting in there to kind of finish this up, but you get the idea. If you pick 3, and you kind of less is more, alternate them, you can completely transform your front yard. That's what I want for you. If you need help, go in the pinned comment below. All 50 states, all different zones. I'm happy to be a resource for you. If you want to stay here in the design studio and go learn another skill, go check out this one. If you want to go see an actual project on the vlog style, go check out this one. And remember, creation is everything, so go out and create. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. I'll see you on the next video.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till